up, guys? If you're new here, I'm Ikea and welcome to my channel. Before we even get started, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We are on the grow over here. We growing as we going, and I need y'all to join the family. If this is the first video of mine that you've ever clicked on, I post a variety of content on my channel. I post things like millennial home ownership. I'm a first-time home buyer and I purchased my home at 24 years old. I also post travel vlogs when this COVID-19 crisis lets up. When I travel to different cities, I tell you guys all about what's to do, where to eat, where to party, what the nightlife is giving, and all that good stuff. And I just post daily vlogs with my family and my friends, so just go ahead and subscribe. So today's video is super impromptu. I know you already see by the title what we're going to be talking about. So I just got back home and I was like, what can I film? What can I film? And I get this question a lot. You guys come from my first video that I uploaded, of me purchasing my home. I get so many DMs on Instagram from that video of y'all asking the big question. All of y'all always ask me, my kid, why did you decide to buy a foreclosure? Like, why did you decide to buy a house that you were going to have to gut? Why did you decide to do all this work? Why? And I don't know what has taken me so long to answer this question. I don't know why I didn't even never answer this question, because I knew y'all was going to have questions about it, but that's a good question. So in this video, I'm going to let y'all know why I chose to buy a foreclosure. Where do I start? Okay, so what a foreclosure is. A foreclosure, first of all, let me get the real definition, because I was about to just make some shit up. A foreclosure is the action of taking possession of a mortgaged property when the mortgager fails to keep up with their mortgage payments. So pretty much a foreclosure is when a person owns a property but they cannot afford to keep the property. They do not pay their monthly mortgage payments to their lender, and the lender or the bank forecloses on the property and they take the property back. So the answer to the $1 million question: why did I choose to buy a foreclosure? Because it's what I could afford. It's what I could afford. Simple as that. It's what I could afford. It's what I got pre-qualified for at the moment. It's what I could afford. But let me explain. Let's go deeper. So if you are new to the home buying process, and you're not really familiar with how mortgages work, you get a pre-approval, and your pre-approval has an interest rate, and your interest rate drives your mortgage. So your interest rate plus your purchase price equals your mortgage payment. Let me give y'all a little background on me. So when I first started looking for a home, it was October of 2018. I actually purchased in December of 2018. And at that time, the interest rates for mortgages was about 4.7 to like 6.0. Interest rates were super expensive, because if you're looking right now at properties and interest rates and stuff like that, interest rates right now during this COVID crisis are at an all-time low. They're about 3%. So if you're looking to buy, this is an amazing time. So when I was looking to buy, the interest rates were much higher, and since the interest rate was much higher, it limited what I could afford because the mortgage would be so high on something so expensive. Foreclosure homes are generally cheaper, but with a cheaper price comes more pain. And when I say pain, I mean a lot of the time, since the person's house is getting foreclosed on, they don't really care about the property too much, and they damage it. They do things to their house because the mortgage company is kicking them out. They tear things up. They put holes in the walls. They pour stuff all over the carpets. They just tear it up. That's not the instance for all properties, but that's the instance for most properties. So starting off, most foreclosure properties are going to be a little tore up. They're going to have a little wear on them. You know, they're just going to be a little seasoned. So there's a lot of pros and cons to purchasing a foreclosure. I can go on and on and on about the cons, but I can also go on and on and on about the pros. It's a win-win or win-lose. I had a whole list of things that I wanted out of a house. I knew I wanted 3 levels. I knew I wanted 3 to 4 bedrooms. I knew I wanted more than 2 bathrooms. So I purchased a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom, 3-level townhome. If I would have purchased what I got in a new construction, it would have ran me about $100,000 more than what I paid. Probably about $150,000 more than what I paid. So I knew off the top, if I wanted something to check off all my boxes, if I wanted something nice as I wanted it, if I wanted something in a decent area, it was going to run me a lot of money, and money that I didn't have, and money that I just didn't want to be paying in a mortgage payment. I didn't want my mortgage payment to be crazy high. So I knew that my only option was to look lower and fix it up. So that's exactly what I did. I'm so grateful to my mother for, you know, being more knowledgeable, because she definitely helped me a lot through the process. Her and my father, they definitely, you know, just kind of guided me throughout that process. They just made me feel more comfortable, like, my kid, that could be fixed. That's not that hard. That's easy. That, you know, they made things seem so like, oh, that's not nothing. So ultimately I knew that if I purchased something lower, once I put all the work into it that I wanted to put into it, I knew that it would be worth so much more, right? So I started thinking, I'm like, okay, let me start looking at things that's in my price range, and let me start looking at how much the labor for this will cost. Let me start looking at how much the materials will cost and stuff like that. And when I started adding up and seeing how much the materials will cost, how much the labor will cost, I was like, damn, that still ain't nowhere near the price of a new construction home. And at least I would get to put my own spin on it. At least I would be putting my own touch on my house, because I'm building, like, I'm literally gutting and starting it over. So at that point, when I realized, wow, I'm not going to spend nearly as much in labor and materials as I would to just buy a home that's move-in ready, it was a no-brainer for me. And my mortgage payment would be low. It was definitely a no-brainer. I was like, I'm just going to have to renovate. I'm gonna have to renovate. And one thing about renovations is you don't have to do everything at one time. I decided to do everything at one time, but if that's not your situation, you can do it as you go. Just do enough to get into your house, and from there fix up, you know? So that's the one good thing about foreclosures, is you can make it your own, and you can take the route that you want to take. Now, since I've gutted my house and started over, when I go look at houses and new construction and stuff like that, I'm just so, like, picky. I'm looking like, oh, they use that cheap sink. Oh, they use them cheap vanities. Look at them vents. You know, it's just like, because I just know that stuff is really not that expensive, and these houses literally cost $300,000 and $400,000, and they just throw them little cheap toilets in there and stuff. So it just, I can go on and on about that. But so the main thing that I would say is, if you're considering purchasing a foreclosure, look at the area that you're in. I would say that the location of the property is very important. Make sure that the homes around that property hold their value. Make sure that they, you know, look presentable on the outside. Make sure that the neighborhood is decent and nice. So you know that once you put that work into that property, the property value will keep climbing, because you don't want to purchase a foreclosure in the hood and then you put all this work into it and it still doesn't have no resale value because of the location. So the main thing that I would say is, if you're looking into purchasing a foreclosure, don't just get it because it's low. Make sure you check out the specs. Check out the neighborhood. Check out the comps in the area. Check out what the house 3 houses down sold for. Check out the house across the street, what that sold for, and make sure that the amount of work that you're putting into the house will equal more. You will have more equity into the house once you do the work. After all my renovations and everything in my house, I spent maybe about $19,000 to $20,000, and if I would have added that $19,000 to $20,000 to my purchase price, I still couldn't have got nothing as nice as this. It still wouldn't have been a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom, 3-level, nothing. with $20,000 added to the purchase price. So in my situation, I knew that it was worth it. Right now, literally, a house across the street from mine just went on the market yesterday, and they're selling it for $106,000 more than what I paid. When I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse, I just look at that, and their house is nowhere near as updated as mine. So I know that I made the perfect decision. I know that I have instant equity in my house. I know that off the top, because a house that across the street that doesn't even compare to this one is selling for $106,000 more than what I paid. That's confirmation for me right there that I made the perfect decision, that I made the right decision for me. My mortgage is affordable. Number one, I can afford it with my eyes closed. Number two, of course, yeah, I did have to put a lot of money off the top, but people are going to be so happy for you that you purchased your first home. They're going to help you. I'm telling you, your grandparents going to give you money, your parents going to give you money, your aunts and uncles going to want to gift you stuff. People going to help you. And number two, use your savings. Or yeah, it's ways to fix up a home without being down bad, like just like depleting everything you got. And then also, sometimes you gotta make the decision, is it worth it? And I knew my peace of mind, me moving out of my mom's house, was worth it. It was worth every penny. It was worth every tear. It was worth every drop of sweat and stress, because this wasn't an easy process, but it was so worth it. So one gem that I'm just going to leave you guys with and end this video with is just to have something nice doesn't mean it has to be new. And I learned that with this project. A lot of millennials, a lot of people my age just think like, oh, we gotta have the new construction, oh, we gotta have the granite countertops and this and that. And I got granite countertops. I was happy about it. I wanted the aesthetic, I wanted the look. But if it didn't happen off the top, it's okay, because for it to be nice, it doesn't have to be new. It can be something that got a little wear on it, got a little season on it, and you can make it what you want. I made this a complete smart house. I love my freaking house. But yeah, just go with what you can afford. Go with what's going to be better for you in the long run. And for me, a lower mortgage payment was better for me, because I'm young. I like nice things. I like to buy stuff. I like to buy what I want to buy. I like to shop. And I didn't want to have this heavy ass mortgage payment sitting on my head, and then every month I'm literally like spending everything that I got to pay this mortgage payment, or you know, like having to get a roommate and this and that. I ain't want to do that. So purchasing a foreclosure was the perfect solution for me. Purchasing a house that was lower in cost and a little more work needed was the perfect situation for me. It's not the situation for everybody, but it worked out for me. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please go ahead, comment, like, and subscribe. Leave me some topics on which I want to see next, and stay safe, continue to social distance, and wear y'all masks. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.